Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. I think it's not so much a keynote, but rather a welcome. Because the past few weeks, we have been darkening the doorsteps. The private sector has been darkening the doorsteps of the DICT. Actually, last Thursday, we were here, and we had close to 70 players in the logistics, finance, smart community space, and they're like, Amor, why do we have to do it in the DICT? I said, of course, because there has never been a time when a whole of country and a whole of government approach to cybersecurity has been required. And just wanted to share a little bit about, do we have a few slides? Yes? Do you guys have a few slides? Now, this is not going to be the end of our commitment to support the DICT, because actually it's just the beginning. Many of you probably know us for our work in the financial services sector, but everyone, specifically fintech, we're probably the most amount of vulnerabilities, the most number of vulnerabilities coming to play. But also at the same time, it's in the financial services sector where they have the most organized guidelines for cybersecurity. So picking up from what Yusuf Jeff said last October 9, which is the guidelines are needed for other sectors, not just for banking and finance, but also in areas like smart communities, health. The private sector have come together to organize themselves and say, DICT, lead us. We want to be able to come up with guidelines similar to that in the banking and financial services sector. October might be ending, but in November, during the Digital Pilipinas Festival, next slide please, we are inaugurating for the first time a cybersecurity and also a trust tech festival. So many of our partners in PropTech, for example, said, Amor, we're not fintech, we want our own festival. People in health tech and in the hospital say, we're not fintech, we want our own festival. And cybersecurity, just like fintech, is an undercurrent that cuts across all industries. We want to acknowledge, could you go back, please? 2 countries, 3 countries actually, from the USAID, Mr. John Garrity is here. Palakpakan po natin sila. Although my work with USAID is more on digitalizing local governments, always a pleasure to see John. Also, we have our, nag-out si Yusek, ako naman na nawala ng boses. We have our friends from the government of Canada. Actually, please tell Ambassador Hartman, it was actually Ambassador Hartman who said to me, Amor, there ought to be a cybersecurity festival, not just stuck under fintech. And of course, I know we have friends here from the United Kingdom. Last June, we were in 10 Downing, and I know that Robert is here, who was also with us in London. Quickly, please. Next slide. So Digital Pilipinas, many people are asking, is basically our love letter to the government. And our objective is to bring the private sector to work more closely with government. I was just sharing with John. There are many multinationals who actually do not want to work with government for fear of ABAC or various issues. But really the only way we can address this is to work very closely with the agenda of government. Next slide, please. So, from November 20 to 24, there are a few things that are being inaugurated, and we're very proud that a cybersecurity and a Trust Tech Festival is coming out for the first time, side by side with our, of course, landmark FinTech event. And we have also working with other national line agencies, Halal Festival, a Philippine Investment Week is happening for the first time. and a few others that are equally important as the financial services sector. And then finally, we look forward, next slide. We look forward to everyone's help and support. Sir Gons, who is the president of CSA, John, our friends from Canada, from Israel, from the United Kingdom, and of course the 4 platforms that are here. We look forward to working very closely with you. And on that note, I encourage you to please continue to visit not just the DICT, but all national line agencies, so we can continue to work towards a whole of government approach to solving the problems of our country using digital. Maraming salamat po. And to our family DICT, thank you for all your service to the country. Salamat po.